Hello everybody! Let's talk about pirates. No, not that kind. No. Ha! There we go. Yeah, we're talking about space pirates. You know why? Well, the other day, I watched a movie.
I've been called a criminal, a terrorist, and a threat to the known universe. But everything you've been told is a lie. There's no one left. It's never the time to follow flames. Burn for the soldiers, live for the kings. There's no one left to hear me now. 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 If you believe in the future of our planet, you are not alone.
Yup. I watched a movie called Space Pirate Captain Harlock. I honestly found this movie in the most kind of weird roundabout way. To some people and to others might be totally normal. I was on my vidding channel. For those of you who don't know, I started out on YouTube back in 2008-ish as a fan vidder, which I still do for fun. So I love still going through the fan vidding community and looking up cool things. And there was a particular vidder who made some videos that I really like, and they put up this video where I saw the thumbnail and I went, ooh, I wonder if that's a video game or something? I opened it up and I'm looking at it going, I wonder if this has to be a video game. This looks like it's really beautiful video game graphics and stuff like that. And so I go scroll through the information. This vid is really good about putting the information there. And I see movie and I'm going, oh, it's a movie. Well, that's cool. That means I could just like have 2 hours of really gorgeous animation. Then I see the title, Space Pirate Captain Harlock. I stopped reading pretty much after Space Pirate and was like, I need to see this movie. So I immediately went to try and find the movie, which, by the way, it's extremely difficult to find in the United States. WTF, mate. Like, WTF. Anyways, I did find the movie and I did watch it. It's about a 2-hour long movie. That's actually a pretty nice length, especially when they're doing CGI animation like that. It's gorgeous. So yes, I watched this movie. Was it objectively a good movie? Not really. It's not objectively a particularly good film. It sort of has a defined start, middle, end, but the characters are kind of essentially stuck in a lot of very serious tropes. Subjectively, was it a good movie? Oh yes. I enjoyed the living heck out of this film, even though I sat most of it going, yeah, I could acknowledge all the serious problems with this, but I had fun. And any movie that's telling me there's going to be space pirates better be fun in some way. It can be deep and it can be emotional and it could try and be dark and whatever, but it has to be fun. It's space pirates. I finished this movie and the other day I texted my one really good friend who watches a lot of anime or reads a lot of books and things that I recommend to him, and I was like, dude. So I saw this movie. I was like, space pirates. CGI anime film. It has been dubbed. My friend is very partial to English dubs because he has a hard time reading subtitles. I really don't care either way. And I was like, dude, it's been dubbed. I said, you have to go see this movie because space pirates. Like, do I need to say more other than space pirates? He did say he would check it out. I know he hasn't watched it yet because he texts me when he finishes things that I recommend him. So I'm waiting to see his reaction to this space pirate movie. So let's talk about the space pirate movie. It follows, well, sort of follows 2 characters. It does follow the actual title character of Captain Harlock, who is obviously a space pirate who helms this ghost ship of sorts called the Arcadia, which literally is a giant floating phallus symbol for the whole movie. Oh my god, I couldn't get over the design of this thing. It made it a great battering ram, but it was, I'm sorry, it was a little funny to me. I had a little too much fun just cracking up. It's almost as good as the train in Baccano that's called The Flying Pussyfoot. No, I'm just gonna let that sink in. There is literally an anime that has a train in it called The Flying Pussyfoot, and it's played totally straight. We're not going to go into Baccano right now. I love that show, but we're not going to go there right now. Back to Captain Harlock. Harlock commands a ship called the Arcadia, And for basically 100 years, oh, BT dubs, he's immortal. For 100 years, he's been basically plundering the edges of space and blowing things up, and they can't really explain why he's doing this, and he's just labelled as interstellar criminal S something something something. He's, you know, he's wanted. He's like literally #1 on the wanted list for 100 years. They still haven't caught him. Good job, guys. Granted, he's got all of space to hide in. Well, our main character, Logan. His original name in Japanese was Yama, but it was changed to Logan in the English dub. Don't ask me why it was, I couldn't tell you. So Logan joins the crew and we find out he's a plant. He's working for the big evil corporation called the Gaia Corporation. Essentially what has happened is, like 1,000 years ago or whatever, man expanded out beyond Earth and just like flew out all over the universe. It was kind of a golden age of humanity, but eventually all these planets that were on the, like, humanity started to die out. They couldn't survive on all these planets started to die. So there was this big move to come back to Earth. And in trying to come back to Earth, the one planet couldn't contain all of humanity that had literally sprung up all over the freaking cosmos. And a war started about whether or not people should land on the planet, and they called it the Homecoming War. The Homecoming War lasted for a very long time until the Gaia Corporation showed up and said, Earth is a sacred, like, sanctuary zone, nobody lands on the planet. Our job is to just keep it protected and sanctified. I'm not going to say any more about their backstory because it really gives away some heavy spoilers about what happens in, like, after the Homecoming War and how Captain Harlock is tied to what happened at the end of that. So I say no more on that, but that's kind of the basic premise. So essentially humanity is waiting out on all these dying planets to, well, die out. Real cheerful, I know. I'm like, this is a space pirate movie. We're the fun space pirates. Well, in comes Captain Harlock. Logan joins his crew, and his crew literally sails for freedom and truth. Right, so this is where we talk about tropes. Captain Harlock is essentially the trope of the romantic hero, without question. The romantic hero is essentially this big literary archetype that refers to a character that rejects essentially established norms and conventions, and or has been like rejected by society, and essentially sets the self as the center of their own existence. So it'd be like very individualistic philosophy. So yes, the crew of the Arcadia, and especially Captain Harlock, all sail for freedom. But what does that mean? No, literally, what does it mean in this world? What does freedom mean? It's all about you need to discover your own freedom and your own truth. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you're giving me nothing, Bob. You're giving me nothing. Now, I've encountered the romantic hero archetype before, and so the moment Captain Harlock started talking, I was like, oh, I see what you are now. And if you can accept that and roll with it, then you're fine. The rest of the crew is very similar, and Logan is very much that whole, like, I'm doing this mission for somebody because I've got scars, man. I've got things at my back. I got things I gotta deal with. I got angst. There's a lot of angst. Like, just all the angst. So much angst. God, he gives, like, Cloud Strife a run for his money at times, though at least, like, you know, Logan does shit. Sort of. Kind of. I kind of wanted to hit Logan most of the movie. I was just like, bring me Captain Harlock, because he's the bad. When Captain Harlock is on screen, shit happens. And it's cool shit that happens. When Logan's on screen by himself, there's a lot of brooding. Nothing really happens. In terms of the brood levels, we're at like beyond 110%. There's just all the brooding. So, honestly, what happens in this film? Not all that much. Really, nothing really happens in this film when I look at it. And even the ending, I'm like, am I supposed to know what's going on? The dub definitely didn't explain everything. This is a script problem. But space pirates. If you like pirates and you like space pirates and you like stuff like that, you're just gonna counteract every objection with, but space pirates. Which is sort of what I knew I was getting into. I kind of figured I was probably going to see a movie that wasn't very good, but there were space pirates. So what does this all lead to? Well, I think sometimes you go into a particular film or a book and you sort of know what you're going to get. And so you can't be that angry when it's not very good. Like Space Pirate Captain Harlock. It's not very good, but I didn't go in it to get a good movie. I went into it to get a movie with space pirates. Did I get a movie with space pirates? Yes. Did I get a movie with space pirates with really, really beautiful CGI? Yes. Did it have a particularly good story? No, because it didn't really have a story. Did it have particularly memorable characters? Yes. Captain Harlock is very memorable, and Logan's sort of memorable, and his brother Ezra is kind of memorable, and there were other characters whose names I didn't know or learn, who, like, in my head I can see them. Does that count for something? So really, there was sort of no point to seeing the movie, there was no real point to the movie, but I had fun and I enjoyed it. And I think that at least counts for something, because a movie or a book could be praised to high heaven, but if you don't enjoy it, it's not going to mean anything to you. But you can go into something which you can freely admit isn't that good, but you enjoy the hell out of it, and I think that still counts for something. So, I guess, never be ashamed of liking something you know isn't good, because space pirates. But that's all from me tonight, you guys, and so until next time, cheers.